himself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on, so Nuoff in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani not very far apart at all here, but I just want to see how Alistair Hay deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. Is now Pike going to have a go at Werrell? Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such up. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
On to the back end of Phil Jocelyn, so there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's allowed to have fun. Yeah, it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching the Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there as they're really bunching up now.
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get
Oh,
it.
they're going to toss it. They haven't got it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still slot chopper. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry. Good morning, good afternoon and good evening. Welcome along to the Sunday Drive Racing Round 2 live from Valencia. I am James Parfitt. I'm going to be joined in the booth by the one and the only Mr. Mighty Dean Biggles here this evening and after round 1 at Barcelona. What an eventful race that was 2 weeks ago as well. What we can bring you up is the standings currently at the moment. In the drivers' standings, it is Sego Ma topping the screen of the championship with 16 points, with Alex Shen in second, Rob Dong in third, Nick Showalter in fourth, Tony Rodriguez fifth, JB Alcabar sixth, Jack Wishmeyer in seventh, Eric Chu eighth, Chris Namek ninth, and then Arthur Chu is in 10th place. In the team championships is currently Sharknado in front with a team of Alex Lee, Eric Chu and Sego Ma on 17, with Animal Style on 14, the Dong Experience on 13, U-Haul Racing on 12, Team Mystery Flavor on 10, Circuit Sprint on 9th, Barwell Motorsports on 7, in 7th, Jenna Motorsports in 8th, on 6th, and Kevin and Guyan Racing on 5, with Connor Free Motorsports on 0 points at this moment in time. The calendar itself, we start off with Barcelona last time out 2 weeks ago. We are here at Valencia. We then go to Imola. We then go to Zolder. Then we're off for round 5 for the Hungaro Ring, and then we finish the season at round 6 in Kota for double points. New format here tonight as well, and it is currently 2 8-minute qualifying sessions followed by 20-minute race sessions. So we'll have qualifying, then we'll have a 20-minute race, then we'll have another qualifying, then we'll have another race session. No pit stops or tyres or refueling required. Each sprint race counts for full session points, and stewarding will be done after the race. as well. So there we go. It's going to be eventful if it isn't going to be anything else here tonight with this new format. Currently at the moment we have just entered into qualifying currently, and we'll be qualifying for the first sprint race here this evening, so stay tuned for that one. Let's bring in Mr. Dean Biggles into the booth. Good evening to you, Mr. Biggles. Hope you are well.
Hola, ¿cómo estás, amigo? Welcome to Valencia in España. And one of the classic tracks, of course, what used to be the Formula One European Grand Prix, didn't it, back in the day? For a while, of course, back in the day of Bernie Eccleston used to run the Formula One there. They promised this track was going to be at least for about 5 years. It did run for about 5 years, from 2008 back to 2012. And I love it. I think it's a fantastic track. These days, of course, well, if anything, you're probably, as you're going to see some cars flying across the track at the moment, you're probably going to see, well, not the Spanish Grand Prix, but yeah, I'm getting all mixed up in the moment because I'm going by coastals, my friend. But I think it's going to be Nice, isn't it, at some point in the future? That might be the French GP, but we are in España. Full grid. Absolute jam-packed full grid there, James. I think 25 plus drivers.
Yeah, we have got 25, mate, currently. As well, I'm not entirely sure what's happened here, but I seem to be losing contact with the server. As we can see that
I think
car.
it's showing a little bit of a track map introduction there at the moment, going through all that Valencia. Welcome everybody in the chat. I'm first again, James.
Nice, you always are.
To finish first, mate, you have to be first.
There it is.
In the
there.
chat.
Just bear with me, guys. I'm going to have to try and see if I can restart the server here because it's not working for me at the moment, as I've still got cars up in the air. So give me 2 seconds while I try and deal with this one situation currently in the background. Apologies if you are staring at the Assetto Corsa screen. But obviously, I want to make sure that it is working correctly. And at the moment, it's just freezing up on me. So bear with. There we go. We are up and running. And now to sort out everything else in the back at the same time. Gotta love this. Bear with us.
You can juggle, right, James?
Yeah, I'm juggling now. I'm definitely juggling. I'm not going to lie. I am juggling, but it's, yeah.
It's the world of online esports, my friend. Everything and anything that can have a problem sometimes happens. It's fine, but we get it sorted out. That's why we have qualifying, my friend.
Yeah, we definitely do. 8 minutes here, guys, as well. So thank you so much if you have joined us and you have come along for the nice early start of the Sunday Drive Racing League, of course. We've got Tony Rodriguez setting the pace currently at the moment. So we'll keep an eye on what Tony can do here on track currently as well, so this is going to be an interesting one. But yeah, overall we're at Valencia. It looks a very difficult circuit. I don't think I've actually ever been here before in my casting career, I'm not going to lie, as I think this is the very first time I've ever adventured into the world of Valencia. So there we go.
Are you kidding me, James? With the 8 billion trillion hours of racing casting that you do here on the JP Broadcasting Network, you've never been down here in Valencia in Spain? Wow. Well, even wait, what out there says +1, and the chat. Wait, what's back again? Of course, he was there following us earlier for the Lightspeed Racing League, and your mama Zalza. I guess a little bit of a wave back to you, my friend. Well, first for everything, James. Perhaps it'll be a first for one of the drivers here at the Sunday Drive Racing League to get themselves a first win of the season. Yeah,
it looks like Sego Mar's doing that at the moment. He's setting the pace currently with Sego Mar and Chris Namak. There is Chris Rossales, seems to be going a little bit faster as well. He's currently 0.3 up. Here is Chris, so we'll keep an eye on his lap times and see where he ends up. Welcome in Yumna as always, and wait what, thank you so much again for joining us at this amazing circuit for what will be an amazing evening as well, I'm sure. So yeah, great racing ahead, 2 20-minute races followed with 8-minute qualifying, then a 20-minute race, then we'll go into another 8-minute qualifying, and then we'll do another 8-minute race. So yeah, 2 races this evening. Should be a good one.
I like it. The more the merrier. As Yuma says, oh my God, Biggles, no. I butchered something. No doubt. Biggles butcher of names. 25 corners is what you don't want to butcher around this track, my friend. A lot. A lot of corners. That's what I mean. It's a street circuit. Not really. The barriers are as close, but still a lot of corners to navigate, my friend, around a little bit of a lake in the middle as well, too. Kind of like an Albert Park or Canada-esque kind of track. But close to the beach, so just don't beach it. Like in Zandvoort as well, too, my friend.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think, the interesting version of this circuit. You know, it's running anti-clockwise anyway. It doesn't run a clockwise circuit. It's an anti-clockwise circuit here, and we've got obviously the Adrian Campos corner, the last corner on the track as well. So for the drivers, it's going to be very, very tricky, I think, to master. We've got 14 corners in his current layout where they're at, and this is their basic layout that they're using here as well. So we have got 14 corners for them to contend with.
We're not in the proper then 25. Okay, sorry, my apologies on that one there, James.
No, we're not in the full circuit. I believe it's just the short circuit currently at the moment. But Sego Mar is up top. Ross Sales is going faster again than he was last time out. He's already half a second up. Eric Dong is another man that's going quicker as well. So he's flying along currently at the moment as he's up. Basically jumped up into 3rd place, did Eric there. So a stellar job from him for the last minute and 18 seconds.
Pros and AMs, of course, in this class. And as you said, there's some little updates to the changes of format there as well, too. Wait, what's this? Good to be here. Thank you, gentlemen. We are glad to have you here, sir. And we're glad to see these drivers and those liveries, of course. You know, fear the cage. We all know fear in the cage, don't we? Some of the drivers have feared the cage. Let's see how it pans out there, James. So far, so good there for Sergio Mar there. On top of the timesheets, it's a 131 point on his dial. About a minute remaining in our qualifying session.
Yeah, we definitely have got the first qualifying session here. So let's see how this one pans out. But at the moment, it is Sego Mar topping the timing screens. Eric Dong going quicker once more here. So Eric coming round the right-hander at the moment of turn 4 through 5. He goes on that run down into 6. Let's see how he gets on and whether or not he's going to be able to get a different time on the board as well. So, yeah, all going off here in qualifying for this first one. And what an interesting one it's going to be, I think. I think we're in for a bit of a, how can I put it? A bit of a good one, should we say.
All right, tick those boxes off there. It's a good one from James in his first time visiting this track. As Wait What says out there, we'll keep an eye out for the 49 machine and the 22 machine. The 49 machine, I was looking there for a second. Where is that going to? And also the 22 currently on the grid there. James, you will repeat those drivers out? Well, Mr.
It's Jake
Snowwater, I think.
Yeah, Jake Hallonen and 22 is Nick Showalter. So, yeah.
Walter, I think it is.
Shh.
Yeah, I can't see that.
Showalter.
Fastest slack from Eric.
Showalter.
Up top of the timesheets. Bingo, my friend. Owning Valencia. Hey, you're in Spain recently for your holidays there, James. You went this far down, did you?
No, I wasn't. I was in Barcelona, so not that far, to be honest. But no, it was still nice. Not gonna lie, nice to get away. Now they're on that run up here into turn 12, and off they go once more. So a stellar job from these drivers. What looks like a very tricky circuit. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. Here round the final corner and off round the Adrian Campos down the straight they go. They all finish off. Mario Hinjos there goes a little bit quicker as well. So
we'll test your F1. Sorry, you'll test your track knowledge. What's another F1 circuit that has the name Campos in a corner? One for the chat too, if you don't get it, James. But the qualifying session's about to finish up in a minute.
No, it has just finished. I don't know.
Spa.
Spa? Where?
Yeah, Campos Corner. Come on, buddy.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I'm running through
James.
Spa at the moment.
24 hours of Spa recently. Wait, am I correct out there in the chat? Come on, tell us I'm correct. Campos
I don't
is the
think you
corner in
are.
Spa.
It's not.
Mhm.
La Source, El Rouge, Radion, Camel, Lacombe, Rivage, No Name, Pouillon, Fagnier, Paul Ferrer, Blanchimont, Bus Stop. That's it.
No, wrong. There is one.
You better get on Google then and prove it, because I don't know of any,
Don't need to Google. It's out there.
any circuit in Spa or any corner name, of course, that's got Campos in it at Spa.
There is one in the Formula 1 calendar that has Campos. I guarantee it, and it's not this one because it's not in the current calendar. I will find it.
All right, well, you go and
Probably
investigate.
spelled differently, but
Yeah, it probably is, to be honest, but there you go. We're just waiting for the cars to start gridding up, and we will bring you the grid for this first race here this evening as well. And we'll be able to see all of these drivers go racing around this epic circuit here once more in Valencia, of course. 14 corners of racing they've got to contend with. And we can have a look, hopefully, at the grid. Come on, you could do this, grid. And there we go. We have got Eric Chu in first place with Tony Rodriguez in second, Segomar in third, and Charles Ho is in fourth. Then behind that, we've got Eric Dong. Then you've got Rob Dong in sixth place. Then in seventh, you've got Jack Wishmeyer. In eighth is Alex Shen. In ninth is Stubbs Hillo. And then on the fifth row, rounding it out, is Chris Rossales. Then in 11th is Mario Hinojes. In 12th is JB Alcabar. Then we go on to the next row of 7 with Michael Gilbert and also Jake Hanlon. Then on to from there, you've got Chris Nammock and Nick Romano rounding out your row. Then you've got Nick Showalter and Arthur Chu in row 9, and then behind that you've got Matt O'Dore and Cameron Fong here in 20th place. Then in 21st you've got Jaime Mendoza and Rail Tova. No Jaime yet. And then Christopher Wong, Joseph Lai, and then we're finishing off with Joe Drain in 25th place. So there you go. That is the grid for this race. As we're going to be back racing here very, very shortly with Eric Chu. We have got they've got one corner to get this car underway here on this track, and then we'll be up and running. Nick in for Helio and Hinojos, says Nick. So welcome in, Nick. Hope you are well. Have you found that corner yet?
yeah, I did actually. I'm a little off on that one. It's still here in Spain, my friend.
Okay.
It is still here in Spain, but it's Campar.
Okay, and where is it? What track?
Yeah. Well, Campsa. What do you think Campsa is? You just said just before there, a little clue what you said when you were in Spain.
Barcelona? Catalonia?
Yes. That's where I got it mixed up. My apologies on that one. So it wasn't Spa, but it was
I was
still
going to say,
in
I'm
Spain.
sitting
It's
there.
Campsa.
I'm sitting
Campsa,
there.
not yeah.
I'm sitting
Not
there
Campos,
thinking, like,
Campsa.
where in Spa? I'm sure I know all the corners on Spa, but there you go. Never
We
mind.
could rename that if we wanted to, but yes.
Well,
We're
yeah,
not going to do that.
well, you could do if you really wanted to. Ain't going to be a problem, is it? You know what I mean? It's got no name, but then again, depending which track map you read, it depended on what corner you're looking at in Spa anyway.
I'm telling you, James, too. We know I've already named this after casting Formula 1 for many years before. That out of turn 12, the high-speed corner in Albert Park, there's no name for that 12-13 corner. I call the wall across the opposite side the Foster's Wall.
Oh, it's
Because in the F1 game, a lot of people bin it out of that corner and they go straight to the opposite wall. And that's why I call it the Foster's wall, you know what I mean? Like, you don't drink and drive. Otherwise, you'll be having a Foster's. And, of course, Foster's used to sponsor Formula 1. So that's what I call that one. It's named, it's branded, and it's done.
Right.
And the real F1 drivers don't cook it out of that corner. Anyway.
Here we go. We're on the grid, ready to go for this 20-minute race. It is going to be up and running and underway. We are green. Sego Ma currently with Eric Chu out in front. Tony Rodriguez, Eric Dong there as well. Rob Dong, Jack Wishmeyer has jumped up past Rob here on the outside as they're heading down into currently turn 2 before they'll go on to 3 and 4. And literally we are up and running for this first 20-minute sprint race here this evening. So let's see how this one pans out here, Biggles. But it looks like everybody's got away cleanly at the moment.
Absolutely fantastic. Will racing there. You see James, there's a couple of cars abreast in certain corners there, playing their games, making the overtaking opportunities down to turn 5. So that's good to see. And, well, it is great racing. You can see the pro classes at the moment. They're up to 8 positions there. You've got a couple of those AM classes in 9th and 10th, but filing a Stern and a Line Stern there just with that 20-minute first race to go there currently at the moment. And, yeah, Mr. Chu is winning this one just ahead of Tony Rodriguez for 1 and 2.
Yeah, he definitely is. He's flying along as Eric Chu currently at the moment for this first time around turn 11. That almost hairpin, there was contact there as well. I believe that was Alex Shen and Stubbs Hillo. Maybe Charles Ho might have been involved once more here. So there was an initial piece of contact with Charles Ho. There's more contact there as well. Big off. Big off there, and I think Chris Namak was involved in that one. So that was a big off there, unfortunately.
This could be Idor as well, yeah. And it looks like they took that reaction to the car coming back on track there, James. And so they took evasion of action, of course, at high speed through a corner, nowhere to go. Rear slips around, and a couple of cars are involved in that incident.
Yeah, Jaime Mendoza, Matador, might have been actually Jake Hanlon, who is now into the pits, was also caught up in that one. Charles Ho battling away. Hillo here with Dong in front of him. So there he is. There is Stubbs Hillo with Rob Dong there. Tucked up right behind him as well. There is Dong. He's got his hazards flashing for some reason, as if to say, I don't know, really. I'm not quite sure why he's flashing his hazards. Round turn 4, coming to the
He's probably
5.
just waiting for some sort of incident to happen and say, stay away from me, please. I don't want to be here. T-boned or even get involving in anybody. Anyway, I didn't know you could do that in ECC, but we learn something new every day.
I'm sure he probably doesn't even know he's got flashing, to be honest. But, you know.
It's like a Panamanian taxi driver, my friend. They have their turn signals on all the time and they never turn. I'm surprised they even use them. Anyway, we're on board right now with Hello just behind him in the double 2-4 machine. Apologies if I do get those names. Oh, that's a snap of those. Still holds it there, James. 3rd gear. Drops it up to 4th. Tyres are cold. You can see there on his dashboard. Get those temperature up into him. And he got a dive bomb. And I think that's a little bit too late, mate. Day late, dollar short there.
Yeah, Hillo there. Unfortunately, torpedoing Mr. Dong in front of him. And I believe that was probably Rob. It was Rob Dong there. He got it completely wrong, did Hillo, and unfortunately dive bombs in too deep here as Chris Rossales is battling it out with Mario Hinojes, as these guys are fighting it out currently at the moment on that run out of turn 3 up into the double right-hander of 4 and 5. We go past the first one and Sego Ma is trying to come through the order. He's got JB Alcabara in front of him currently at the moment. Sego looking up the inside now as well. Round 5 on that drop down into the left-hander of 6. These guys battling it out once more. And Sego Ma does make it through. What's happening with Rob Dong currently? He's got Chris Namak now in front of him. So he's battling all the way down now with Chris Namak. That was, unfortunately, there for Hillo. A little bit rough on the brakes, I've got a feeling. Well, either that or he just missed his brakes altogether.
Yeah, he said, hello, Rob Dong, my old friend. Let's go back to motor racing. So as he had a little bit of... We saw that we were on board at the moment there. It's a difficult track, man, but a lot of corners there, and obviously cold hearts, and the tyres, cold tyres and warming up there at the moment, and the pressure, the adrenaline storing through the drivers. So it's easy to make a little bit of mistake, but luckily on their side, they've got 15 minutes and change to go as we're looking at possible overtakes there. Alex Shen at the moment, position 5, and the number 36 car. A little bit too far back to make a gamble. Not the only driver that might not take a late dive bomb, but I wouldn't recommend it at this point. And look at this battle here. Chris for the 999 machine, tucked up on the gearbox. But you can't make an overtake here, my friend. You will have to follow through from turn 1, Aspar, and of course, Doohan. Well, you know, hopefully see Doohan, of course, into Formula 1 at the moment soon, because the man's in Formula 2. And that's another thing, isn't it? We're in GT3 at the moment. Let's not worry about Formula 1 or Formula 2. Leave this side-by-side action there, James.
Alex Shen and Jack Wishmeyer. Shen on the left, Wishmeyer on the right, of course. Shen in the BMW. He's going to try and look at slipping it up the inside on that run down now into currently turn 7 and 8. He's now going to try and take that inside line. He does go up the inside of Wishmeyer. Is he going to stop it? Wishmeyer comes back through again. They're battling side by side currently at the moment as well, all the way through. On that run now, down into turn 11 is Wishmeyer with Shen.
Back.
He's going to try and cut back underneath him here, Biggles. He does. He pushes Shen onto the gravel. Shen's got to look at trying to get his way back through once more here. He doesn't make it through the rest part of the circuit, through 12 and on that run round 13. But he was side by side. That was a stunning battle there.
Oh, that was amazing, James. You don't see that. That's brilliant racing, wheel-to-wheel racing. Compromised a little bit of his speed as he scrubbed off at the moment. Now he's more under attack from behind. But that is what you want to see. That is rubbing and racing and grinding, and you want to see that more and more, almost through the whole lap. And no doubt these two are going to resume in that one. In fact, there's a few more players that want to join the party.
Yeah, Sego Ma and Michael Gilbert. Ma looking at the inside of Gilbert currently as well. Nothing doing there on that run down into turn 2 from Ma. He's just 4 tenths back at the moment. Tony Rodriguez is sitting in second with Eric Chu out in front here. Rob Dong also involved in a nice little tidy battle further down the order with Arthur Chu, Chris Nammock and Charles Ho. And then you got the Porsche there. I believe that's Nick Romano in the front of them. And this is an absolute stunning race here with 13 minutes remaining. It's getting all very close. The 20-minute sprint the sprint race that they've done now, they're obviously doing 2 in the evening. It's going to really jazz up the season, I think, as well, and really open them up to it.
And opening up an overtaking opportunity here. You can see there's so many overtaking lines that you can take. That's a very wide entry and exit there. And you might have just given this one to Rob. He has sliced his way through for the 420 machine. You can't make a mistake like that too often around here. And Yilmar out there says you always have to leave the space. Well, there was space left before, but, you know, on an exit out of a corner and cars are side by side, there will be a little bumping. And you can't really blame drivers for trying to make an overtaking opportunity when they can. That's one for the stewards. It's not one for us, but it's certainly one for entertainment to watch at the moment. Yes, welcome to Valencia, James. I hope you're liking this track.
Yeah, Sego Ma just lost a place to Michael Gilbert. What's Charles Ho going to do with Romano in front of us? Is he going to be looking at ducking out, going down into turn 1 here? He's not, but he has overshot the corner there, Romano. In front of us, you can see the looming Nammock now behind us. It's Chris. He's going to go and send it up the inside. Oh, that wouldn't have been good for either of them. Nammock's having a go.
He went defensive.
Yeah, Nammock's through and Dong's through and Ho's lost 2 places. Is he just about to lose a third one to Arthur Chu here as well?
He's on the wrong racing line, James. He's trying to be very, very defensive at the moment. The problem is he can't stop the car in time. And you know what happens, my friend James, when you leave the door open? What happens?
You get burgled, son. You get burgled. You invite him in, he takes your place, he takes your house, he steals your shoes and keys and everything else, and while he's there, he's going to rob your car. I'll tell you that much. Sego Ma and Michael Gilbert are still battling it out here as well. Sego and Gilbert, there's been a few swaps in position. There's going to be another one as well as these guys running off round turn 12 now. Before they go round into 13, you got to leave space on the inside. He is there, and Gilbert knows he's there as well. He runs the curb entry into 13, and currently Gilbert looks like here, to be honest with you, Biggles, he's hanging on by the skin of his teeth.
Absolutely hanging on at the moment. You've got to watch for those cutbacks as well too, because if you're on the racing line, Look at the exit speed at the moment from Sergio Mar. He's on it. He has to take it up into turn 1. So he is. Well, yes, in turn 1 because they came out of turn Campos. Now you're committed. Now you have to stick on the inside there. Allow the spaces you can so we can get wheel-to-wheel racing. It will. Didn't force the driver off into the background there, but the driver on the outside could not hang on to it. That's position gain, and that's job done.
It definitely is. Jack Wishmeyer has swapped to positions with Shen once more. These guys are battling it out side by side round turn 5 now. They go, that BMW there looming. He's coming in with pace currently at the moment. And then you've got the Lexus of Wishmeyer behind him. McLaren, sorry, of Wishmeyer. Side by side once more again. These guys are running off now. Round into turn 8. Wishmeyer takes it this time. Shen's going to try the cutback. They're going to run side by side once more. Through the left-hander of 9. Is he going to be able to stop it here? Is Wishmeyer going to be able to get it?
Yeah.
He does. Shen gets the position. Wishmeyer comes back on the inside, leaves space again for Shen. Shen's got the inside line now as well as he's going around turn 12. He's on that outside. Can he hang it around the outside to go round turn 13?
But it goes inside now, James. If you've got to make it stick here, exactly. He's held on the whole time, even though you get a little bit of pushed out of the outside. Brilliant defensive driving, I have to say, from Jack. Sorry, Jack actually put the offense up the road there. Absolutely amazing. That is how you hold on the position. But you're going to have to do it for some more laps there, James, because there's still a pressure applied, and this is great motor racing.
Yeah, it is. We've got 8.5 minutes left of this race, and we've got the Alex Shen, Wishmeyer, Hinojes, Ross Sales, and Sego Mar now joined the pack up. This is going to be a 5-car race very shortly with these guys. Eric Chu has already checked out. He is gone. He is flying along once more. Sego Mar battling now with Ross Sales. Wishmeyer's dropped back a little bit from Shen. We'll jump back onto the Sego Mar here because he is looking like he's flying currently at the moment in that McLaren with Ross Sales in that Ferrari. And they're going to be coming together. They're going to be joining these 3 cars in front of them as well. There will be a 5-car train battling it out here for this. Basically, where are we? In 4th place. So this is 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th here, having this epic scrap once more throughout this race. There's been a swap of positions down below with Namak and Romano and Arthur Chu, another set of cars racing around together here as well. And what a stunning race this has been so far here, Biggles. This first 20-minute sprint has been absolutely manic.
I can't wait for the rest of it as well too, but you know what, first I can't wait to see what's going to happen the rest of this race. That attack now has to back off a little bit. Chris is backed off a little bit. You can see that they space each other because those tires are starting to fall a little bit more grubbier per se, you know, they're a little bit more heat into them. They're not as grippy as what they were at the start of the session. They still have about 7, just shy of 8 minutes left to go. And now, you know, the car starts to get a little bit temperamental at the moment. It's like reprimanding your kids when they left a Lego out and you step into the bedroom in the middle of the night when they can't sleep, James, and you just get your feet punished. Well, that's how those tires feel right now. And look at this. At the moment, you just have a P8.
Sego Mar and Ross Sales, they've just swapped positions. Mara has managed to catch up. Wishmeyer and Hinojes going at it. Oh, there was contact there. Hinojes is off.
Right off.
Oh, he got hit checked by Wishmeyer, and unfortunately for Hinojes.
Always got to be careful. Keep hugging the inside apron, my friend. Get the power up there, and there it is for Mario.
Yeah,
wow.
That's unfortunate for him. That was on the entry to turn 4. And he's just been nudged off there. So Wishmeyer looks like he's got damage at the same time. Unfortunately, he looks like he's possibly going to be out as well, and he has. Yeah, he definitely has. Stubbs Hillo with Romano now fighting out that 4-way battle we did have due to that one piece of contact is now dissipated out and it's gone. Unfortunately, we've still got Sego Mar and Ross Sales in there, but unfortunately the other 2 are no longer part of it as well. So yeah, 6 minutes to go and it's just been wheel to wheel all the way through.
It's musical chairs, my friend. Isn't it? You set up those musical chairs, and at that point there was 5 chairs, and unfortunately, after each lap, you go down to 4 chairs, don't you? And one person, unfortunately, is going to miss the chair, and that tends to happen when there's motor racing. And of course, you don't want to miss in the chair too much running off the road. They will bump into each other. That's just the nature of racing. In order to get the overtakes, you kind of got to get your elbows out a little bit, in a kind way, in a friendly way. I don't think it's anything that our race leader needs to worry about at the moment. He's just way up the road. Probably a clever idea, isn't it, too, for Mr. Chu, to avoid all that by putting your car on pole.
Yeah. Put it on pole, drive off, pull away, job done, and then you've got Tony Rodriguez behind you. You know, if you don't want anyone...
Easier said than done. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
They got the memo from Max Verstappen or something like that, isn't it? Even though Maxi doesn't even need to get pole positions anymore to win races, but still, yeah. I think Eric needs to worry about it. He'll take that race 1 victory as long as he can keep it on the track, and he doesn't need to be under major pressure to, you know, hammer time and get fastest laps. To just comfortably bring it home. Mr. Rodriguez at comfortable P2 at the moment, but yeah, still. I mean, the other battle's up for grabs, of course. So P9 is still potentially up for grabs. P6 is still potentially up for grabs, James.
Looks like Mendoza and Fong have just swapped places as well. Jaime Mendoza further down the order, of course. We've got a few people into the pits, and we've got a few people out currently at the moment as well. So Hallinan is into the pits, Wishmeyer is into the pits here. Alex Lee looks like he's also been into the pits currently as well. But Eric Chu and Tony Rodriguez, Stubbs Hillo battling it out down in 14th with Romano still once more. And these guys backwards and forwards throughout this race. Michael Gilbert has now managed to catch up to Chris Rossales. So Gilbert's now going to have a go at Rossales as we go into these last 4 minutes. He's going to be an interesting 4 minutes. They've just gone round turn 2, round the left-hander of 3 before they go back round the right of 4 there as well.
Versus Ferrari. McLaren versus Ferrari, James. Well, you don't hear that too often, but you got to see it here right in the GT3 Racing, and he's going to do everything he can, Mr. Gilbert, there for the number 71 machine. Try to get past, yes, that's right, the yellow and blue or grey Ferrari. The road there. Let's see, James. He's got to line him up at the moment. Only problem right now is that if you do happen to brake a little bit too early, a little bit too late, you're right up the rear of the car. He realizes time is not on his side, but he realizes a P6 is up for grabs. And as well, of course, as the Ferrari driver realizes if I can hold him off for a couple of laps, I'll hold on to that P6.
Yeah, he definitely will. But it's going to be a tall order, I'm not going to lie, as they go round turn 11 on that run up through the right-hander of 12 here. You've just got to kind of aim, point, shoot, carry as much speed as possible on that run round 13 with Michael Gilbert and Ross Sales. Round 14 they go, and now it's a straight sprint down that long old straight, leading all the way down into Aspar of turn 1. And it looks like Gilbert's just not going to be close enough this time around, Biggles, I don't think.
Yeah, no, matching speed there. Ferraris and McLarens, you have to say, pretty much similar top end speed, aren't they? Just a more about that cornering exit, of course, the way they set up the cars. As you can see there on the right hand bottom there, gear 2 kilometers will tick up at the moment. He's going to chase him down, no doubt, James. Got a couple of minutes to get it done. And he's showing his dummy. He's throwing the dummy there, going, I'm here. But every time you go off that racing line, James, you're also risking your exit speed out of the corners because, you know, the racing line obviously is the shortest in and out, generally. But when you're in the toe, the dirty air like that, it does change the difference in the way that your car's performing.
Yeah, it definitely does. Sega Ma now is another man that's moved in within half a second. He was within half a second. He's dropped out, back out, and now he's back in again. And now he's going to be going toe-to-toe with Alex Shen as they're going to be coming round now. 1:43 on the clock. We're not going to be starting the final lap this time around, I don't believe. I think it's going to be on the next one. I think we're going to cross it within time. And I believe we have, so there's going to be one and one more. So Sego Ma has got at least one more lap to try and have a go here and try and get past Alex Shen. He's tucked up right behind him at the moment now as well. Down the start-finish straight they go under the Repsol Bridge. It's going to be, who's going to be late on the brakes? Is Ma going to pull out? Is he going to be looking at trying to come out of that slipstream over Shen? He's not this time around, of course, Sego Ma. So he's going to sit there again on that run down into turn 2.
And what a nice of his teammate to move completely out of the way too. We're talking about Sergio Ma's teammate They could have played a part of this one. Sergio Martin says, I don't need a teammate, James. I just need a bit of McLaren performance. The other McLaren, of course, is trying to get past the Ferrari. This McLaren is trying to get past the BMW. He's got the inside line. Can he hold it? It will turn into the opposite lock on the other side, and he's got the job done there. What a performance there from Sergio Martin.
Yeah, Sergio Martin there doing an absolutely stellar job over Alex Shen. He got through, muscled him out, and then got through, but I'm sure Shen's not going to give it up likely. He's going to have another go as well. He's got a little bit of time, but he's going to have another go, and currently at the moment he's on his way round turn 8 before he goes round to the left-hander of 9. I'm keeping an eye on the leader, who's in turn 14, just coming into 14 at the moment, is Eric Chu, so it's going to be really, really close. If this is going to be the final lap or the white flag lap, he's literally going to cross the line now.
Bingo. Yeah, almost high five, and no Barney.
No,
ACC,
it's literally going to have one more now.
One more. Wow, he's going to bring the entertainment. Now, if anything, it might actually hurt his teammate down the road there that just got the overtake done, of course. So I don't know if there's a team ready to say, mate, you should have gone and picked up a pace a little bit more, because you want to make sure that Sergio Martin can hold off there Alex Shen, because, yeah, they are teammates. Remember Sergio in the McLaren to the race, or the race leader. So it could going to be like, we'll see. We will see there, James. Of course, we'll find out right now. This is the last lap of this race, because we won after this one. So do not go anywhere out there in the chat. I appreciate all those comments.
Yeah, round turn 5 now. Alex Shen. This is it. This is his last opportunity. Your leader is on that run down through 8 into 9, coming through 10 now, going into 11. But this is Alex Shen and Sergio Martin fighting it out here. Showalter has just passed Romano. Further down, keeping an eye on Eric Chu, because I've got a funny feeling it's going to be Eric Chu taking the victory here in race 1. And it doesn't look like anybody's going to get near him.
Now, Alex went too deep, but that back marker might hold him up a little bit, but I don't think there's enough corners left, James. I don't think there is contact, but I think that was, there was a lap car in the play, but this man doesn't need no lap car. The McLaren driver, he'll take a race 1. Eric Chu. Yeah. GG's, my friend.
Yeah, with Tony Rodriguez behind him, and then you're going to have a look and you'll see Eric Dong coming up behind that. There is Dong in 3rd, of course, in the Pro category. In the AM category, we have got Chris Rossales, who's just going to hang on here. And then you got Mario Hinojes behind him. And then all the way down to Nick Romano, who is in 14th place. We'll take 3rd in the AMs, so a stellar job from them guys as well. But that will be wrapping out race 1. We're just waiting for a few others to get across the line, of course, and the last one over the line will be Joe Drain. Haven't really seen much of Joe, to be honest. He started towards the back end of the grid. He has managed to gain 5 places, was helped by incidents and accidents, so there we go. And he has gained 4 places currently at the 5 places at the moment, up into 21st. But he's heading round turn 13. The final man on track, as we'll wait for him.
I was going to say, James, usually if you're having a very quiet race at the moment, it means you're having a good race. The cameras aren't pointing on you. But in case anybody hasn't checked, I think I shared that to you the other day too, James, on your broadcasting network in a league where the driver was way out front. I said, he's got no problems. He's quiet. We don't put the cameras on him, and bang, he accidentally got taken out by a back marker. So I'm not going to say this anymore, James, when the camera's not pointing on the drivers. But we have our race 1 finished, and there's your results up on the screen, James.
Yeah, you got Eric Chu in 1st, Tony Rodriguez in 2nd, Eric Dong 3rd, Sergio Martin 4th, Alex Shen in 5th, Chris Rossales in 6th, Michael Gilbert 7th, JB Alcavar in 8th, and then behind JB you got Mario Hinojes, Charles Ho, Stubbs Hillo, Nick Showalter, Chris Namuk, Nick Romano, Rob Dong, Arthur Chu, Christopher Wong, Cameron Fong, Matt O'Dore, and then behind Matt O'Dore you got Jaime Mendoza, Joe Drain, Ray Otova, Joseph Lai, and then you've got behind that Alex Lee, Jack Wishmeyer, and Jake Hanlon there as well. There was a drive-through for Jake Hanlon. There was plus 30 seconds for Wong and O'Dore. So everybody's been a little bit of a naughty boy at times here throughout this race. But there we go. We are going to be back underway for the second qualifying as we are in the end of this race. So a stunning job by Eric Chu, of course, taking that victory. Definitely a lot of action in this sprint race. Yes, it definitely is. So fair play to them ones, and some great racing there currently at the moment as well. So a stellar job.
It was fantastic, and everybody in the chat, we do appreciate that, as everybody is saying it's hectic. Let's go, Namark, and better get 10-10, top 10 for my boys, and everybody's out there supporting their drivers, and that's good to see. I think as well, too, because it also gives us the opportunity, I guess, James, when you have a chance there to switch it over to those drivers that they are supporting out there, because JP Broadcasting is also an interactive network, so we do listen to everybody out there in the chat. We do try to engage as much as possible whilst you're keeping all the entertainment cameras pointed in all the right directions. Now, James, now that the essential sprint race dress rehearsal's over, time for another one. What do you think the drivers now contemplating in their heads? All right, overtaking opportunities. Where can I get it done? What can I do to pace myself? How can I defend as well? To remember, everybody's like, yeah, overtake's one thing, but also defensive driving is another one that's never really rewarded as much, is it, as the overtakes?
No, I think that's the thing. You've got to learn where you are fast and where you are not fast. And that's the difference, I think, here with these drivers. They would have used that race one to say, okay, well, I'm quick here, but I'm really struggling there. And they've got to be looking back and thinking, okay, what can I do about that? Because it's always a difficult one to realize where you are being slow and where you're being fast. So you've got to kind of just sit back and think, right, well, let's see what I can do and where I can make the times up, you know, and that's going to be one of the things they're going to be looking out for here, to see how they are going to be doing that and using that knowledge that they've earned from that race one going into the qualifying for the next one.
I think absolutely right, using that knowledge, because you always have to, because it's experience, isn't it? Race driving, it doesn't matter how many times you do this. You can do with all the practice you want when there's nobody around, putting laps in by yourself on a track, but doing it when other cars are around you different. Thank you very much for the kind words. Good racing, great stream and commentary. Thank you very much. That's much appreciated, because James does his absolute best, of course, and always generally nominated for a commentator of the year. And that's another point I want to go back to, James, because this is the thing. We all see racing highlights and real racing, okay, across the planet. This is another thing. Every single time you watch the race highlights and they go, you know, oh, the overtake was amazing. But what, of course, once again, I want to catch back on is that they don't show you 20, 30 or 40 laps that the driver had defended for so amazingly before, because that does not make top-notch entertainment, does it?
No.
Only the entertainment shows you that one opportunity the driver takes. And they also don't show you in those highlights the driver might be running 30, 40 laps old tires than somebody else. So the good thing about watching this live and enjoying the live entertainment is that you are well aware of the situation that's happening with the drivers. And if you want to know more information, of course, you can always ask us, and we can also relay that information, James.
Yeah, well, that's the thing as well. You can type in any questions you've got or anything like that. I am trying, to answer that question currently at the moment. How are points awarded for the sprint race? I am desperately trying to find that information for you currently at the moment. So bear with us on that one. I will find out more details as I go along here. I tell you what we can do, actually, while we're sat here waiting, let's try and have a chat with Arthur Chu.
Yeah, there we go.
No, was it Arthur I want Eric, actually. Let's have a chat with
Eric, yeah. And remember, everybody, most of these drivers are actually in the Discord. If you want to join the Discord and be a part of the Sunday Driving Racing Bye for sure, they are in a chat generally together. So they like to communicate, which is great for racing drivers, because not real racing drivers ever do that. Try to get all the 20 drivers in Formula 1 to talk to each other. James, do you have them?
No, I tell you who I have got, though. I tell you who we can have a chat with after that first race as well is Mr. Tony Rodriguez. Good evening, Tony. How are you?
I am good. How about you guys? How about yourselves tonight?
I'm doing very well, thank you very much, myself. I did pull you in. Now, there's two reasons I pulled you in. One, to congratulate you on your second place here. And two, you might be able to help out a question. How are the points awarded for the sprint races?
So it is full points all the way down to 15th place. So first place is 16, and then it goes 14 down to 1 from second place.
So you got 14 there, my friend, for that P2 finish.
I did indeed get 14 for that.
Yeah,
for that second
excellent.
place.
And then it just runs 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Yep, just like that. You got it.
And then they get that for every single sprint race.
Yes, it's effectively a double points session.
Oh, nice. Well, there you go.
So the next race, of course, it'll be the same thing. Points awarded from 1st to 15th.
Correct.
And
correct.
1 point for the fastest lap, which I'm quite sure who got the fastest lap on that one.
I think
race.
Eric got the fastest lap on that one.
Eric did,
Okay.
yeah. He got a
Yeah,
one.
he
So
did.
Eric got 17. He snatched up 17 for the first round.
Yeah, he did, correct.
Okay.
So what are we going to
There you go.
see from you this season then, sir? Because, you know, we saw you last season. Absolutely amazing, of course. In the BMW this season, though, changing over from the Merc.
Yeah, I decided to change it up. I've been driving the Merc since I started the game, and I felt like just try something new. But a little bit of growing pains with the new car, so we'll see how it goes out.
Simulation, please.
Yeah.
Simulation, please. Do not disregard ACC as a game. Apologies out there for everybody.
God blimey, yeah, don't start
sorry,
that
my
one.
friend.
We're never going to be at the end of it if we start
This
discussing
is a sim.
it.
Go ahead, my friend.
Well, it's not really. Anyway, I'm not even going into that. I'm not
really.
It's not. I'm not having this conversation. It's a game. Look, at the end of the day, we play virtual racing in a game. Anyway, right, that's it. I'm not going through there again. Tony, what's the aspirations for the second racing, sir? Are you going to try and keep up with Eric this time around?
Yeah, I'm going to try and swing for the fences for the next session and qualify ahead. If I can keep him behind me, this track is not the easiest to pass at. So if I can, qualify a little bit ahead, but he has a lot of pace in that McLaren. He was 5/10 up on that first qualifying.
He is looking quick. And that's not that I'm doubting your ability, Tony, by any shape or form, but he is looking racy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's looking real good.
Yeah, so...
Those, just real quick there, my friend, those McLarens came alive towards the end of this race. They were very pacey, but they were both bunched up with majority of the cars. How do you think overall, like, judging by the performance of your car, like, is there anything to look out for? Are cars coming alive later on the race as they handle the tires better? What is the key difference do you feel that between the cars?
Yeah, so I think the the McLaren has really strong downforce. So all the short tracks, it is very strong at because its cornering speed is really good, and it keeps a pretty good tire throughout the race. And the Lambo is another car to watch out for. It's quite good at the fast tracks. So yeah, I mean you're gonna see a little bit of a parity between a lot of the cars here, as we move through the season. Like Imola, for example. I think the BMW comes alive at Imola, so a little bit of balancing going on, but yeah.
So knowing that, how do you defend in your car against those that you just said with a little bit higher end speed? Like, you ever get a much more exit speed there? You can brake a little bit later in the corners. What's your plan?
Yeah, so like the BMW, I've got pretty strong brakes in the car. Definitely not as much cornering speed as the McLarens, but if I can slow them up in the corners when they're behind me and give them no opportunity to pass, I do have decent power. I can get out of the corner pretty well. So that's the game plan: is kind of just stay ahead, mess with their cornering speed and beat them in the brake zones.
Okay, Tony. Well, thanks so much for joining us there, bud. We'll drop you down back in the room with the boys and enjoy yourself and good luck for race 2.
Thank you.
Take care. There you go. Tony
So there you have it,
Rodriguez.
James. It's great to hear from the race drivers, I think, as well, too. And thank you very much for elaborating the point system out there. So questions answered, of course. That's what you do here in the JP Broadcasting Network. If you want to ask a question and James and myself don't know, just pull in the people that do know and the questions are answered. So the regular point system from 1st to 15th there, and you get the extra bonus point, of course, if you do get the fastest lap. So 16 points will be awarded to any of the drivers now. That will 16 for the top spot, my friend. 10 for the second.
Yeah, we are trying. They're having technical issues at the moment with the server. The server will not progress into the next bout of qualifying. So that's why we're sat here staring at the cars in the pits as well. I've just seen Tony there with sending me a message going, James, they're having problems with the session. And he's still sat in here talking.
That's not how he talks.
Well, no, but
Yeah.
I can't do his accent anyway, can I? You know what I mean? Hanging about. If I try to do an deep American accent like Tony's, I'm probably going to sound like
Tony here.
Yeah, I'm not. Mine won't sound like that.
That's all right.
I'm not going to lie.
So yeah, let us know, James. It looks like we'd have a little bit of a restart or server start like stuff. Yeah, either way, trust me, you're not missing any action out there. So
no, what you're seeing on screen is what actually is happening, isn't it? Currently, they're sat in the pits because they are kind of stuck on the session. It's just not advancing into the next one currently. And
I'm not even in the session, so I can't even jinx it, my friend. So
yeah,
it's not me. It's not my dingo.
Okay, we're keeping an eye out here as well. What is
Gives
going
us
to be
time
happening?
to ask questions in the chat, so please do ask as many questions as you want, because there's no action happening at the moment. We do appreciate your support. We do appreciate who you're going for.
Spare with me, guys. I've got to bounce out of this session currently at the moment, so I will be looking at. Unfortunately, you're staring at my screen.
Could you imagine James bouncing on one of those like 1980 bouncing balls with the little horn things you hold on to? You probably had one of those as a kid.
No.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
I'm sure you did. That was one of those toys. Did you have a Rubik's Cube?
Yeah, I did have a Rubik's Cube.
Wow. Rubik's Cube, massively popular, of course, back in the day, wasn't it? What were these other 80s toys that you would have had to grow up with like I did? Remember.
Now, are we joining back into the same one here? Bear with us while we try and resolve.
That looks like we are, because I can see Nicolas Cage's face on the side of the car.
Yeah, now it's
Yeah.
right. We've rejoined and we're back up and running. So hopefully we will be.
That scared me, mate. I just said Nicolas Cage looking at me on.
Oh no, but the problem is we've now got back in and they're going straight back into qualifying.
Yeah,
so,
we have time, but just started it.
Yeah, so we've only just started qualifying as well, so an absolutely stellar job from the guys in the background. Sorry about that, but live TV and then techie issues does happen often. So we are back now once again here.
Oh, good question out there in the chat there. Just one for you, James. I'm not going to answer that question. That's definitely got you written all over it.
Oh.
Oh, you went there, didn't you? Oh, well, you're going to...
Oh, mate. If you had $12.75 to spend at McDonald's, what would you all get? Never-ending wrinkle faces, fries, cheeseburger, and nuggets. I would get.
You're going to make him hungry. Please don't make him hungry.
Mate, yeah. Now, especially now, I know breakfast is running. Give me a minute. I'll have to.
You've got the qualifying session, James. You have about 6 minutes to change to answer that question. All right, you have to get it done by the end of the qualifying.
Okay.
Everybody else is welcome too with Mac and Sauce. Anybody else, please throw your great question out there. Got $12.75. Just work that out in your local currency where you are in the world. Doesn't really matter paying too much. We all know McDonald's costs. Let's see at the moment as we're running on board with Rob Dong, who's stuck up behind traffic and going to compromise his definitely a little bit of his qualifying. Remember, they are on qualifying laps, so they're not racing, but they're trying to race your way up to the top of the timesheets at least for the best time you can.
Yeah, so I've got about £10, okay? Right. So I would get a... Oh, what would I get? Oh my... Yeah, I'd get a Big Mac. Right, I'd have a Big Mac. I'd get a Big Mac meal for £5, I think it is, right? So that's my first one, a Big Mac meal. So the Big Mac, the chips, and I'd wash it down with a caramel iced frappe. And then I would have an apple pie with a McFlurry, the new Biscoff McFlurry that we've got over here in the UK at the moment. So I'll have a Biscoff McFlurry, an apple pie, Big Mac meal with fries and a caramel iced frappe, and then if I've got enough left, I might treat myself to a cheeky double cheeseburger just to top it all off.
A cheeky? Did you say cheeky double cheeseburger?
Yeah, cheeky double cheeseburger.
That should be something on the British. I think that should be something on the British McDonald's menu. The cheeky double cheeseburger.
Yeah.
Now available.
Yeah.
From McDonald's.
cheeky double cheeseburger. That would be me. That'd be what I'd go and do. I don't know about anybody else.
The JPB cheeky broadcast. There you go. There could be one for a sandwich or something like that. Maybe you'll have it in one of those stores. New fastest lap there from the man that's just dominated the circuit at the moment, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Mr. Eric. He's loving Valencia, my friend.
Yeah, he's just flying at the moment with Charles Ho and Rob Dong, Matt O'Donnell, Michael Gilbert. Rodriguez is down in 7th at the moment. He jumps himself up into 3rd. It's going to be a tough one for him, though, because these guys are flying. You know, that's the thing we were talking about earlier on. These McLaren, that Lamborghini is looking so strong. Not so much on the BMW for Tony, so going to be a tough one. But
racecraft is a little bit different than the qualifying craft. Another question I want to throw out there, actually, I've never done this before asking this question, but let's say, for example, that you could get gifted the absolute best VR headset that you ever wanted on the planet, right? Any VR headset. It's available to you for free, but you have a choice, right? It's like, okay, you're like on a game show. And in box, in behind door 1 is this best the VR headset you possibly get. Behind door 2 is the best screen setup or visual setup that you can possibly have as well too, without using VR. What would you choose? And that's one for all the chat out there, as well as you, James.
Being that I wear glasses, VR is a little bit uncomfortable. So I would choose.
We are talking about the best, so they probably would even customize that for you. Or I didn't know the best ones could do that. I don't know if they can.
I still think I'd end up sweating out and basically having VR shoved in front of my face. Just probably I'd end up being seasick or something ridiculous along them lines. So I would go. I'd still go for the screen setup currently at the moment.
Somebody mentioned this to me the other day, actually, James, and I never really thought about. VR headsets actually get very, very sweaty because they produce heat. Yeah. And of course, just like everything you have, if you have a helmet on or, a headset or even, a racing helmet, you'll know if you've all been go-karting before how sweaty that gets. Just imagine having this like heat source on your head. And apparently some of the new ones that they're trying to produce are trying to reduce that heat there so you're not sweating it out, especially if you're in an endurance race. But anyway, that's more questions out there for everybody because I'm not a race driver. So James, I set up in the air conditioning casting box and just let them do that.
Yeah, definitely there as well. I do love Anthony. He says a cheeky double now at McDonald's. See, there you go. Screen setup.
Trademarked.
Yeah, screen setup there says for the same reason as James, but also because VR gives me motion sickness when real life does not. I agree.
Some people do, some people don't. That's like kind of like you race with your barefoot or socks on. Kind of scenario as well too that works for people. All right. Each to their own. There is no right or wrong answer to any of that. It's just how you drive.
I have retired from driving. My rig is now up in my younger son's room.
I hope he's using it, James.
He is using it.
Gather dust on it.
No, he was using it.
You.
Yeah,
your son will be quicker than you.
Everybody's quicker than me. You know what I mean? He'll probably go round the track in reverse.
What would happen, James, if you had to cast him in league racing at some point in the future? How are you going to be a non-biased commentator?
We do currently. Yeah, my eldest son, Edward, who's 18, he drives in the JPB Clio League on a Monday.
I'll have to tune in for that one.
So,
let's see how you cast that.
Yeah, it's quite interesting.
Do you provide those casting curses to him, or you just lay off?
Dude, today, yesterday, today for you guys in America, of course, it's still Monday, but for me here in the UK, it's Tuesday. He had such a horrendous race last night. He bought Knock Hill, and it was the International Reverse Circuit. He brought Knock Hill, and literally he got his $14 worth out of it, mate. I think he saw every part of the circuit, including gravel, wall, and grass. So, he did a good job there on that one. So there we go.
When did he finish?
I don't know over the 3 races, mate. To be honest, I think he's sitting 7th or 6th or 7th in the championship.
Weren't you casting it?
Yeah, I was, but it was dude. I've slept since then.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know what I mean?
You've done about 20 leagues since then as well.
Yeah, I've done more racing since then. This is my 3rd broadcast of the Monday, to be honest. Because obviously the UK one and the LSRL and now this. So, it's been a bit of a busy one. We have come to the end of qualifying. Sorry, we didn't really cover much of that. But Sego Mart is on top with Eric Dong, Eric Chu, Rob Dong, Charles Ho, and Tony Rodriguez. So Rodriguez has got the largest surname in the top 6 there. Everybody else has only got 4 letters and below on that one. So, unfortunately for Tony, he's going to get sandwiched out. Yeah, but that's further down. That's in 9th. So there we go. Right, let's bring you up hopefully be able to bring you up the grid for race 2. And we'll be able to show you the grid when the drivers get on there. Oh, poor Edward. Oh, don't, you know. He had a terrible run. He literally come downstairs and he looked me in the eye and went, Dad, if you ever select that track again, I'm not going to be happy. He did not do well.
He's going to put you in a retirement home in 10 years, Jeff.
Yeah, mate. When do you know, the thing is, right, people say to me, like, they can't believe, they turn around and they go, why have you had, oh my God, you've had 5 kids. I'm like, yeah, I've had 5 kids. They're like, why have you had 5 kids? I'm like, well, because me and the missus are sensible. And they went, what do you mean you're sensible? I said, well, if you work it out, I've got 5 kids, 5 days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's my dinner already sorted. Saturday, I'll have a takeout, and Sunday, we'll have a Sunday lunch in the pub. So I've never got to cook all week. When I'm older.
Yeah, and if I was your kids, my friend, I'd just slap you in front of a computer with a microphone and let you just cast for the next 50 years, mate, because you don't need to move.
Oh, this is true, but at the same
even
time,
if you can, even get back, we'll get you like a fake hip and stuff like that if you have to get up every once in a while. But they'll take care of you, and you can continue to do this for the next 50 years. Hey, no excuse, mate. Once you casting at 100.
Oh, gee, man,
Your voice might go a little older, but you'll still be able to cast races. It'll be like, back in my day in 2023, these cars used to be, you know, anyway.
Mate, can you imagine me casting when I'm older? My voice is gruff as it is now. Can you imagine it when I'm older?
James,
like the growling tiger.
You'll still be able to do it, James, because, you know, you think of 50 years experience. Wow.
I don't know if I would be able to. I don't know if I'd have to.
What else are you going to do at that age? Not like you're going to get up.
Oh, I don't know. Probably walk around like old people with my head down and needing, you know.
I bet you James will still jump in the car and get McDonald's breakfast at 6 a.m. in the morning after a race.
Even that being a nursing home somewhere, I don't know, playing bingo or whatever.
with a microphone and a screen in hand. Absolutely casting those races. But there we go. Hey, Murray Walker be looking down here right now going, James, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe.
I don't know. I'll probably have a hip replacement and a few other bits by that point as well.
That's why you have 5 kids, mate. They can help you sort that out, take you to the hospital and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We do have a motor race here on the Sunday driving racing on a Monday, of course, or Tuesday if you're in the UK.
Yeah, there is a motor race going on, guys. We are just waiting for the cars to get onto the grid. We are waffling a little bit here, Biggles. We've been off topic quite a few times. You can always
but we're waffling with the people in the audience.
You can always take up smoking heavily, get a gravelly smoker's voice. Well, yeah, there is. It's pretty gravelly. Yeah, I'm working on it now. You know, I'm not quite up to 20 a day, but you know, I'm having a go.
Oh, you know who you remind me of?
Who?
You would remind me of oh, geez, who is that? The actor, of course, that. You know, the Batman that plays the Batman assistant. What's his name? Michael Caine. There you go. Remember, Michael Caine used to have a bit of a higher tune, and then as he gets the brandy and the cigars in, he gets a deeper voice. There you go. James could be perhaps like the Michael Caine future. You know that?
Oh, maybe. I know you.
Bit of brandy and a couple of cigars. Well, you don't drink, but.
No,
I
don't.
A couple of cigars there. You get that. Got that in my voice.
I've never seen the point of cigars.
I don't do a very good Michael Caine. Yeah, I don't either, my friend.
You don't even do
anybody who doesn't like cigars doesn't like the smell of cigars.
Yeah,
around there as well.
You just sort of puff on it and then just blow it all out in one go. You're like.
You don't want to take it in your lungs, my friend. Otherwise, you might be able to breathe for the next 10 minutes. Yeah.
Exactly.
Unless you're Arnold Schwarzenegger, anyway.
Yeah, maybe. But I think to be honest, I'm working on the gruffly voice. I'm not going to lie. So we're hopefully not having any more session issues, but it looks like we possibly might have once more. I am just keeping an eye on the chat here as they are discussing what's going on currently at the moment.
What about, it's another question, what about those, I mean, obviously as you get fancier, you can get those motion rigs so that they can like actually move forwards and downwards and left and right as well. So I'm talking about if you have like somebody's just going to gift you.
Oh, boss, I've got something to say on that. We do a Thursday Radical Race Series League, And there is a guy in there that actually has a motion rig and straps himself in to it. Anyway, let's do the grid really, really quickly here with this time around as well. And we have going to have Eric Chu is going to be in first place this time around with Sagar Ma in second. Then we've got Eric Dong in third, Rob Dong in fourth, and then we go on to Chris Namak in fifth, who had a great qualifying session, Alex Lee sixth, and then Joe Drain in seventh, Jack Wishmeyer in eighth, then we go on to Michael Gilbert in ninth, Mario Hinojes in 10th, Nick Showalter in 11th with Alex Shen there behind him, rounding out row 6. On row 7, you've got JB Alcabar and then Jaime Mendoza. And then down in here in 15th is Tony Rodriguez with Matt O'Dore there with Charles Ho in 17th place with Jake Hanlon rounding out row 9 in 18th. Then you go on to row 10 with Arthur Chu and Joseph Lai. And then in there after that on 21st is Christopher Wong and Nick Romano behind that one with Chris Rossales and Stubbs Hillo there and Cameron Fong and Rail Tova rounding out your 25th and 26th cars there on the grid. So stunning the grid there as well. 26 cars now, absolutely amazing. Going to be flying around this circuit. You know, I would totally do a full motion sim rig if I had that much mad money. I think the lack of motion is why I get motion sick in driving games. Hey, Drain moved that well. He did, yeah. He went up into 7th there. So a stellar job from him. But yeah, he's got a full motion rig with double seatbelts on, Biggles.
That's interesting as well too, because you got to look at like Max Verstappen has the money in the world, and I don't even know why the guy even has a partner, because any chance he gets back onto his racing rig, and he doesn't use that. So
no,
he has all the money in the world, which is interesting. What we do have, which is interesting, James, is that it's going to be a team battle, isn't it? Front row, second row for the team. So if you have the cage there in the second row, they got to try to split the party. The road will be very, very interesting. So once again, for this race, in our second race that we have this evening, no pit stops required, no tires or refueling. So you got to go all the way to the end of the 20-minute race.
Yeah, we might have an issue here. I've got a funny feeling some of the drivers haven't managed to advance into the race. This new race format here causing a little bit of an issue. Is it me, or are we missing half the
qualifying?
Are we missing half the grid here, or am I?
Yeah, I think it looks like we are. And you know, when you say Tony napping, it seems to me that Tony, as one of the league organisers, has probably been running around trying to sort out what may be the issue or not.
Yeah.
You got to remember that too, because there is a lot of work to go to. It looks like the cars are starting to form up there, James.
Yeah, there just was a big old gap between the front four. I was a bit confused there. Not entirely sure what was going on, but we'll keep an eye on Tony as to see if he moves through the race here. Here we go. We are back underway. We are green for race 2 of the evening. Eric Chu, Eric Dong, Sego Ma battling out your front four currently at the moment as they go racing down through turn 1 here, and Eric Dong has managed to just nearly jump Sego Ma. Mark comes back on the inside, gives him a little bit of a hip check there as well. They're 3 wide further back here with Joe Drain, JB Alcabar, Nick Hanlon. They're 3 wide round the corner into turn 1. It's not going to work for turn 2, guys. I'm not going to lie. Somebody's going to struggle here as well, as there's lots of swapping of positions throughout the beginning of this race. But it is Eric Chu, Sego Ma, Eric Dong, Rob Dong, and Jack Wishmeyer rounding out your top 5 currently at the moment. That was a bit of a manic start there.
It was, but it was fantastic. I was surprised. It did take the challenge early there, Mr. Dong, but couldn't quite make it stick. And actually, they're running up the road a little bit. More importantly, in at P5 at the moment, looking to challenge that party there for the teammates. And further back at the moment, somebody's going a little bit wide at the moment. Was that
Namak.
Chris?
Yeah, Chris Namak.
There's your Chris fans out there. They're asking about Chris. Well, he is Chris right now. Oh, that's too deep into that one. That's going to cause a little bit of a tangle in the background. Hopefully, it's just off the racing line. Yes, it is, James. So just 2 cars involved in that one.
I've got a funny
and actually,
feeling.
further up the road, somebody else went off there too, James. I'm quite sure who that was.
That was Showball and Hinojas coming together. And that was a very, very bad incident there. and literally it's going to be probably under, and the stewards might have a look here with Chris Wong trying to get through. Christopher Wong, of course, does make it through. What about Chris Namak? He's running side by side currently at the moment. Oh, he's just been hit there from Tony Rodriguez. There was a tap from Rodriguez on Namak's bumper and nearly sent him in to Alex Lee in front of him. Currently, Lee goes in a little bit deep at the moment as they're going round turn 2. Now Namak's going to be looking at the inside. Lee tries to go defensive, doesn't close the door earlier on. He's now got Rodriguez running up the inside of round turn 4. And Lee is basically trying to defend for his life. JB Alcabar has made his way past Matt O'Dore with Stubbs Hillo just taking a little bit of a dive out off track behind him as well here, Biggles. It's all going off again in race 2.
I have to say some clever racing at the moment. They could have gone side by side, but they've elected to back off a little bit. That's probably would have saved them spinning out and into the fence. So they realize, hey, it is a 20-minute race, and so just a couple of minutes gone. Yes, I'd say clever racing there. Don't give the position, but there it is. Chris up the road there is going for it side by side, and he's with Tony. I think he's with Tony.
He is.
Yes, you're correct on that one, James. We'll see how he gets this one.
Yeah, Tony's up into 7th now with Alex Lee. JB Alcabar's battling it out behind with Michael Gilbert, Matt O'Dore and Stubbs Hillo. So there's a lot going on throughout the field at the moment, and you've got Chris Wong down here as well in his Mercedes with Arthur Chu, Rail Tova as well battling it out. These 4 guys going at it once more. It's going to be contact from behind on Tova if he's not careful. We can't be doing that with Charles Ho and Alex Shen, of course. Shen's trying to make his way through the field all at the same time, sitting down in 19th at the moment. But Sego Ma and Eric Chu have broken away out front here, Biggles, and are doing an absolute stellar job.
They want to get up the road, and he could be nowhere near a part of this party further back. You could see. I was going to see a couple of cars were going side by side through there. I'm like, you've got to be sitting there filing there, setting it up the inside. There is the BMW. That's the yellow and white with the racing striped red on there. Trying to seize an opportunity, but they're going to go side by side through these corners at the moment there, James. You know you can do a little bit of that here in this fantastic trap here at Valencia. Track, not trap. Trap if you get it all wrong. And there it is. So that's job done. Overtake done. Holding off very defensive. We saw that, didn't we, before there from Alex Shen. He can put that car in all the right places. Further up the field too, James. Lots of action everywhere you look. I'm not sure that's Rodriguez on Mr. Chris as well.
Yeah, he's coming up behind Namak at the moment. He is coming up behind Namak and he's closing rapidly. Can Namak hold him off here? On that run, round into 14, round into 13, they go long, looping left-hander. Chris has got to decide where he's going to go here in that Lamborghini. Tony's gone up the inside, not much of a defense from Chris there, and Tony has gone through, but it is still going off down here with Alex Lee, Stubbs Hillo, Chris Rossales, Michael Gilbert and Matt O'Dore as they're fighting out once more. And Stubbs is now pulled out. He's going to have a go at Alex Lee down into turn 1 here. Hillo on the right-hand side. Alex Lee on the left. Hillo sits back in behind him again. 2 McLarens there, Biggles. Equal on pace, obviously.
Yeah, we heard about S McLarens before the performances on that track. A little bit more straight line speed, but the cornering can be a little bit of a problem. You can see this in the moment, going a little bit too deep at the moment. That McLaren will snatch that one up at the moment there as Stubbsy gets the job done for now. But then again, you have to make it stick on the track. Look at the background there, James. Look at that. 3, 4, 5 cars in this gaggle. Anybody makes a little bit run wide right now. Michael Gilbert's in the mix there. He's gone too deep at the moment. He's got to lose that position perhaps there. And no, he's holding off on the inside. Tucks in further up the road. Is that... I'm going to look at everything at the moment. There's so much action here, as you said. You got Ferraris, you got McLarens, all in this mix for around for P9.
Yeah, Sego Ma and Eric Chu were running close together at one point. I think I'm wondering if there's going to be a certain amount of maybe team orders. Yeah, Sego Ma is leading the championship currently at the moment, but Eric Chu is in not too far back. So, and that's going to help from Chu's obviously win on race 1. So. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how this pans out. Surely there's not going to be team orders after round 2. Come on, boys.
No, absolutely not. Why would you do it?
Go at it. You know what I mean? Go and have a go at each other.
I think it's game on at the moment. I would not want to be the race engineer down there. If we could put cameras at the race engineer sitting there, Toto Wolff would be slamming his fist either way. He would be cheering. But unfortunately, that's McLaren, so it would be, that's a step of oversteer at the moment. So I think they are racing, James. I think they are racing.
I hope so. I wonder if they're working together to try and get that gap over Eric Dong, which they are doing at the moment. 1.8 seconds has been a big off down here with Matt O'Dore. Matt O'Dore, how did you end up there, sir? Well, we can have a look and see how he ended up there. And that's with Alex Lee. Lee's just coming across to the left-hand side. He's in that middle. Matt O'Dore in that white BMW, of course. Alex Shen is involved in this one. Oh, he sent it out the inside. He spun the car. They all gone off there. Shen manages to weave his way through. And unfortunately for Matt O'Dore, he ends up facing the wrong way there. I got to be honest though, Biggles, right? And I'm not going to be detrimental here. He kind of started that one off on his own, didn't he?
Well, 4 into 1, where are you going to go at that point, is it? 4 into 1, it's not going to work. He couldn't even tuck in behind because there were so many cars nearby. Anyway, it's called the motor race.
Yeah, now we're on board with Chris Rossales and Stubbs Hillo. Hillo in that car in front of him, of course, McLaren and a Ferrari battling it out there. Wong and Ho have just swapped places. Just unlucky, really. There was space. Never ending. I'm not quite sure where you expect the space from, but broad blimey, son, he had to get on a plane to send it from that far back. I'll tell you that much. There was no way he was going to make that one.
He's got freaking flyer miles to upgrade, my friend, because he's looking at this right now. Here's Chris at the moment, 999 machine, trying to hold off just behind there. He's got to make sure he spots his own braking light. Don't you mirror race. You can't mirror race, James. He's gone very deep on the outside there. It'll allow the inside open for 2 double hole corners here to the left. They will go side by side. He's gone way too sharp on that one. He's going to scrub so much speed on the outside, and that will allow the position. So Chris will drop the P10.
Yeah, way too deep there. He was all out of shape around turn 3 and 4 anyway, before he even got into turn 5 and 6. And he was just way not where he should do, was Rossales. And at the moment, there was just no hope of him remotely making that through currently at the moment. So, yeah, it was very difficult for them. And Rossales again. Oh, mate,
he's not giving up, James, is he? He's not giving up. He'll try to take that. He'll try definitely to race with that position. Further back, the top 2 are still shuffling as it is, but the good thing about it, and more importantly for them and the team, would be, are they still maintain that 2-second gap to Mr. Mei Dong? Yes, they are currently at the moment. Mei Dong is the one that's trying to chase him down. His teammates dropped a little bit further down there, so the Dong brothers are siblings. I think it's happy for them to sit back and watch these 2 battle, because they're probably, I'm not sure if they're aware, are they going to be battling for that position? Looks like it, James. Don't think there's team orders at play. It's game on.
It definitely is at the moment, but Sego Ma and Eric Dong fighting it out here with Eric and Rob Dong, and Sego Ma and Eric Chu, get my words out right as well. All I'm saying is they both could have survived if they were more careful. I agree with that, right? I do agree with that, never ending. I'm not going to lie on that one. But I think the fact that, you know, there was a false end there, I'm not going to lie. It literally, if he sent it anymore, he you know, it would have been incredibly far back as it was. So yeah, unfortunately it was a little bit of a false end. Anyway, it's racing. Yeah, I agree with you on that one as well. Arthur Chu, Charles Ho and Alex Lee going at each other once more. Further down the order, of course, this is battle down from 13th, 14th, 15th and 16th currently. And then we have got the recovering Matt O'Dore, who's in the background there behind him as well. So a lot of action.
Good go, ball shaped.
Yeah, he's trying to go the inside. Look, he's definitely going to have a go. Round now, Arthur Chu, you got into.
And the biggest problem too at the moment, James, you get the slipstream, so you've got that extra little bit of gain while you're also spotting the driver up the road there that's braking, and that's in the blue livery. And of course, you're still battling it out with the other car, and that means he's gone too wide at the moment. They'll slip past him.
Yeah, Alex
and
Lee.
Just like that.
It's all gone off. I think there's been a bit of a tat-tat-tat going on down here as well, not going to lie, because these guys have been battling out. There's been contact all the way through at the same time here. And there's Cameron Fong currently in the BMW with Christopher Wong behind him. Drain has dropped down the orders down into 20. second now. As I say that, Michael Gilbert has just gone past him, and they're swapping backwards and forwards as well. It's a little bit scrappy at the back end here, but they are going too wide, too deep at the moment. They look like the flying red arrows, all in formation here. 2, 1,
James,
2.
close your eyes. Close your eyes. There's going to be 4 cars, 5 cars approaching in the turn 1. Are they going to file in tooth and nail? No, they're racing.
They definitely are. They're going at it full bore here at the moment. And they're not stopping either. Cameron Fong's got off track now as well. Is Michael Gilbert going to slip up the inside over Fong currently at the moment? Hinojes is in this little tiny group with Drain. There's contact.
Well, there it is. I knew what's going to happen, James. It just cannot. It's too difficult. Luckily not in the fence, but that grass is going to be mowed big time. That's a sharp turn at the right to get the speed up there and try to continue on that fight there from Cameron Fong.
And do you know what's worse on that one? Mario Hinojes started that. And I'll show you why he started that, because he went in too hot. Hold on. Watch him go in. Do you see him?
Yeah, there's a contact there, and it spun the other 2 around. Yep.
Spun the other 2 around.
And I think he realized, because he just lifted off a little bit and continued that fight later on. Remember, the stewards will be reviewing all this a little bit later on.
Ooh.
It's a pretty friendly league here at the Sunday Driving Racing. A lot of them are in the chat as well while they're racing, so I'm sure there's a few little moments like that that we can't relay on the stream, but further up and down into the field, another great battle for P15 at the moment as Nick Romeo is trying to make the 42 car machine road. And there's another great battle into turn 1 there. Aspar, of course, produces and go into Doohan for turn 2. That's why it's called a Doohan corner, of course, because you need to take it like a motorcycle there, James.
Oh, Lee, unfortunately for Lee, he needs to kind of make sure he's hitting braking markers here. It doesn't really look like he's hitting his braking markers. He looks like he's running and braking. Drain has just lost a place to Hinojes further down the order, of course, unfortunately for them guys. Rodriguez and Wishmeyer have just swapped position, with Wishmeyer going through on Rodriguez. Rodriguez is now sitting in 6th place. Behind that, we've got JB Alcabar chasing down Chris Namak, and then we've got Stubbs Hillo and Ross Sales, who have been together as well here. So there is a motor race going on all the way through the order at the moment, and really he's kicking off here. Starts here with Rodriguez and Wishmeyer, and Wishmeyer weaving. That's 2 moves now. He made 1 to the right, 1 to the back on the racing line. Rodriguez is going to have another go at him here as well, Biggles, and it's all getting a little bit tight at the moment.
I think you have to be patient at the moment, because it's very easy for these drivers to go way off the racing line. We've seen that before. Just apply the pressure from behind. That's what Tony Rodriguez needs to do. Also, you have to remember too, so Mr. Sergio or Eric Dong there in P3 at the moment, starting to really catch in the 2 McLarens leading this race too, James. So we'll see if he can find a way to get into that gap. About 2, just on the bubble though, 2 seconds behind them. So that'll be very interesting. No pit stops required, and we are down to about 5 minutes already left of this, James. It's gone by so fast. Tony Rodriguez is well aware of that one, because he wants to snatch P5. There's one man up the road denying that. That's called the McLaren.
Yeah, there's the Wishmeyer there doing an absolutely stellar job in front of Rodriguez in that BMW. It's all been a little bit messy at the moment. Rodriguez is up 9, Wishmeyer's up 3, Hillo's up 15 with Ross Sales up 13. The biggest loser is Michael Gilbert, is down 16, Jaime Mendoza is down 9, and Joe Drain is also down 14 places currently at the moment. I got a funny feeling after that incident with the server settings, there was few people out of sync compared to where they should be, and the likes of Tony Rodriguez didn't quite get his lap in like he should have done, because obviously he's trying to sort out why the server won't all of a sudden advance forward. So yeah, I've got a funny feeling there was a few people out of where their pace put them. I think Biggles is the word I'm looking for.
That's why we have to give Tony Rodriguez a bit of credit as well too, because whilst you're watching drivers race, you got to remember too, driver administrators and people put leagues on are doing a lot more behind the scenes that does compromise their own racing themselves, and hats off to that, because I can imagine if Tony was just a driver that turns up and has to drive, he probably would be doing a lot better than what he is currently doing at the moment. But Tony Rodriguez is fighting spirit, and Tony Rodriguez, of course, is a fantastic gentleman. Got to join the Discord there and have a chat to Tony. Tony would be always happy to give you an answer about anything you want, and of course sign up as well if you want to be a part of this party. James, what about that top two? I'm just wondering at the moment as we're getting down to the dying stages, is there going to be a switcheroo thinking of a long-term championship, or is it just game on between them?
I think it's game on. Eric Chu's got a 1.3 second gap. If he's going to give that up for Sego Mar, Mar's got no hope. Mar might as well go out and put the lottery on, because he's probably got more chance of winning the lottery than he has of Eric Chu just pulling over and allowing him through. Not this early on. I get if it's round 5 or round 6 and Sego is still on top. I understand that. But on round 2, no way is Eric Chu going to turn around and say, here goes son, have this position, because he's still battling it out here as well. Gilbert is the biggest loser. Your words, not mine. All right, Brian, don't point it out. Wasn't the best choice.
Not loser, just say like less beneficial of the rotor race at the moment. Here we go, Tony. He's going to get the slipstream. He's going to make it, break it around the outside. He's gone this one. Switcheroo, James. Switcheroo, you go out wide at the moment. Can you cut back on the inside? It's going to have to tuck in behind right now. And then prey on those right-hand turns coming up very, very soon. A couple of lefts, of course, and then see if you can get tucked in enough there. Switch it around to the rights there. Not enough at the moment, but you get the exit speed. It's going to very, very much depend on Wishmeyer if he goes a little bit wide there and try to snatch it up. At the moment, Wishmeyer is definitely holding station quite well, James.
Yeah, he's putting that car in all the positions he needs to, and Rodriguez just can't get through. I'm keeping an eye on your leader. The leader is coming down through turn 8, I believe, at this moment in time. On that run up into turn... No, he's gone round 11, round 12. I want to keep an eye on the times and whether or not he's going to make it this time around, because obviously it was close last time. So I think I've got a funny feeling it's going to be really close again. He's got to about 19 seconds to get round this final corner, and seeing whether or not he will be the white flag this time around. 141, 140, 139, 38, 37, 36, 35. There's no white flag, so he's going to go one more. We're going to have one and one more after this. So Tony's got another 2 laps to have a go at Wishmeyer here, Biggles, so it's going to be interesting to see what he can do.
Tony will go for gold at the moment. And more for Eric at this point not to make a mistake, because he'll get snatched up at the moment by his teammate. Here we go. Another opportunity to set up the inside. He has. Look at that. Last and late breakers. Can you make it stick around the outside? We're off the track a little bit there, James. But he's still going to be compromised into the next corner. It will go on the inside. And you know for a fact that they're going to have to send it, because you don't want to give the position up at the moment. Tony's going to have to fight this one. And Tony will get to swing it over to the right there and get a good exit. Can he hold it, James? Can he hold it at turn 4 and turn 5 at the moment? He can. He has got it. He's still going to be under attack. It ain't safe yet, but hey, get a little bit of a smile there from Tony Rodriguez. He's up to P5.
Yeah, he definitely is, but Wishmeyer's not giving up here. He's not letting him have this position easily on this run up through turn 7, through the left-hander now. Now you're going to come into the long looping left of turn 8. We can see it here, and then we're going to go again on through 9. I don't think Wishmeyer's done. I've got to be honest. I think that gap's going to come down once more, and there's going to be another last lap go from Wishmeyer. If he can stay with Rodriguez, of course. Rodriguez in that BMW for the first time this season. We've seen him, we've been so used to seeing him in Mercedes. He's made a mistake. Wishmeyer made the same mistake. Wishmeyer's opportunity may have just gone there because Rodriguez made a mistake and Wishmeyer made the same one in the same corner at the same time, which was unfortunate for Wishmeyer.
You know what that is, James? That's just chasing a driver, not your own racing line. That happens all the time. Professional motorsports drivers do it as well.
Yeah, it's that tunnel vision, isn't it? You're concentrating so much on the car in front that he ends up doing something that you end up doing, like the same again there. Rodriguez went off and Wishmeyer carried speed. Wishmeyer's going to try and come back once more. Around turn 2 now. Big slide from Rodriguez in that BMW. Round 3, we go into the first right-hander of 4. Your leaders is on the run up into turn 8 currently at the moment. So I'll keep an eye on that one. And I've got a funny feeling it is going to be the same as it was last time with Eric Chu. He is just doing an absolute stellar job with Sego Mar behind that in the pros. So great job from them guys up front. There's been an incident with an Ojez as well. It looks like JB Alcabar has also been involved in a little bit of a ta-ta-ta. There was. They were round. They were all round here.
on the last lap too, James, throwing some crucial points away there, trying to make it one position. All of a sudden, you drop 3. But yes, well, you'd have to give it to the race leader at the moment, isn't he? Only got a couple more corners to go at the moment. He's done a flawless, my friend. He's going to enjoy that stamp in his passport from Spain, and it's going to go P1, my friend, all weekend. Eric Chow delivers again.
Yeah, Eric Chu done an absolutely stellar job. Ross Sales going to come over the line, I think, in the AM Championship here as well. He's battling out with Alex Shen, running side by side. Round now, the final corner. This is going to be a straight sprint to the line. Who is going to get this one? Is it going to be Rossell? Is it going to be Shen? There's contact! Oh, it was Shen, but boy, oh boy, was that a little bit of a messy contact at the end there.
That's one for the stewards as well to look at that, because that's compromise. Oh, that little bit of a, all right, it's game on, my friend. It is game on. Round 2. Wow, can't wait for round 3 revenge on that one there, James.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm not entirely sure we'll concentrate too much on what was going on there, but at the end of the day, it was a little bit messy. But here's the final finishing positions. It is Eric Chu out in front with Sego Ma in second, Eric Dong, Rob Dong third and fourth there, Tony Rodriguez, Wishmeyer, Alcabar, Shen, Ross Sales, Namak, Showwater, Hilo, Ho, Chu, Odor, Hinojes, Tova, Drain as well, Fong, Mendoza, Lee, Romano, Wong and Lai, and then Michael Gilbert was the last man, of course, on track. So a stellar job from all of them guys, and that was just, well, I think we should just do 20 minutes every week, Biggles. That was amazing.
Did we just lose that? The standings that changed all of a sudden? I'm not quite sure why they
I've got
changed.
a funny feeling that was why people were jumping out of the session.
Oh, yes, I hope so, because we did see the drivers cross the line, so I doubt there was anything that was different with that.
Yeah, so I've got a funny feeling if I went in and did it this way.
Unless they had off-tracks or drive-throughs, James, that's the only thing that would spoil that party.
Yeah, the problem is obviously the drivers jumping out of the session. They disappear here off the timing tower.
Drivers, you're not allowed to leave the session until we call the timing results.
I know, but, you know, what can we do about that one as well? I got a funny feeling that we should just do 20 minutes every single week, I'm not going to lie, here as well. Let's see if I can have a chat with Eric Chu, if he'll come in and join me. And let's see if we can have a chat with Mr. Eric Chu. Welcome in, Eric. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm not bad, mate. Two wins tonight. That was a stellar race.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, quite happy with the results tonight. Didn't have a good race for the first round, so hopefully this make up for it.
Well, you've just gained 34 points because you got 16 for the win in both races. You got both fastest laps as well. So 17 points, obviously. Quick maths over here in England. 17 plus 17 is 34. Not a bad jump at all for that this evening then.
Yeah, not bad, huh?
Why did you say you didn't have a great race in the first race?
Yeah, you won.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm speaking of 2 weekends ago in
first
Barcelona.
round.
It was quite a
okay.
nightmare for me personally, but luckily my teammate kind of make up for the slack. So, but personally, it wasn't a good result.
Going forward though, sir, for you, what's the aspirations for the championship? Do you think you can carry this form up? Because we've got some tough racetracks coming up at the moment. You know, we're going on to Imola next week, 2 weeks time, then Zolder, Hungara, Ring and Kota. All tough tracks.
Yeah, I look forward to it. I think the car had pretty good pace overall, and it's quite good on the tire decoration. So, yeah, I think it should be pretty competitive.
Yeah, definitely well as well. Eric, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations.
Well, I have a quick question.
Okay,
sure.
Sorry, James. You're definitely racing with Timo on that one, weren't you? It was green go, like no switcheroo, no team orders?
No, we were just... honestly, it was just me and my teammate going at it to see who can get the fastest lap, basically.
Yeah, so it was race on.
Yeah, for the first half, and then we decided to back off and just kind of, for team results, because I out-qualified my teammate, so
that's all
I think it's fair to have the main order. Yep.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I agree. Eric, anyone you want to shout out before we let you go?
Shout out for you guys for the great show and all the competitors out there. look forward to the next one.
Awesome stuff. Well, thank you, Eric, for jumping in and having a chat with us, and I'll catch up with you soon as the season goes on.
Sounds good.
Take care. Right, so there we go. That was Eric Chu, your double race winner. Who else should we have a chat with? I want to see if I can get in this man into the booth as well. And let's see if we can have a chat with Jack Wishmeyer here, who currently finished 6th in race 2. Jack, how are you?
I'm doing well, trying to fight off frustration from that first race, but kind of managed to pull it back.
They were tough races though, mate. 2:20 minutes was always going to be tough, wasn't it?
Yes, it was indeed. I almost prefer an hour, oddly. It's everybody's going for moves and not giving up any room, and I'm definitely a part of that party.
Yeah, well, I think that's the thing, but you have to be, because you haven't got that time. You haven't got that pit stop. You haven't got that preparation for the moves that you're going to make. You know, you've got 20 minutes, which isn't very long. You've got to go from it straight from the beginning, haven't you?
Yes, indeed. I kind of find it to be the exact same way. Like in the first race, that hour race, it was easy. Like, oh, I just have to make time. I just have to hit my marks, easy peasy. And then in these sprint races, it's just quali lap, quali lap, quali lap, quali lap, with all these other guys who are really quick, also doing quali laps right next to you.
Yeah, it definitely is tough. You're sitting 7th in the championship after round 1 there, sir. What's the aspirations for you? How far do you think you can get up this season? Obviously new into the season, into the league this season as well. So what's your aspirations for the season?
I'd love to get into the top 3. I think a podium is on the cards. I had a great battle with Tony, and I think if I could get the setup just better, then I might be able to hold him off a little bit better. Maybe go to a track that I know a little bit better. But that would be my aspiration. Top 3, definitely.
Awesome stuff.
Real quick, speaking of tracks you like better, tracks coming up on your grid, any of those your favorites?
I do love Imola, but I'm better at Imola in Formula cars, so I'm kind of trying to make the switch right now to sports cars, and it's definitely interesting at the moment. But I love Imola, so we'll see how it goes.
Okay, Jack. Well, thank you so much for joining us there, bud. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Just my teammate once again. Just we're out here fighting with these rainbow McLarens, baby.
Yeah, definitely are there. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll catch up with you soon, mate.
Thank you.
Take care. There we go. That was the words of Jack Wishmeyer here as well, Biggles. It's been an interesting first 20-minute sprint as well, and I think you can definitely say I enjoyed it. I thought it was great to have that 20-minute sprint there as well, and I think, you know, something to look forward to for the future, I think.
It spices things up, James, because you don't have that enough time for the drivers to spread out on track there. So every single minute that we had was action-packed all the way along. Thank everybody for tuning in and following it, because it was, wasn't it? It didn't matter where you pointed that camera. There was multiple battles on track, every single part of it, and that was the key to these sprint weekend races. You don't have this longevity, and drivers have to think exactly what they just mentioned into the casting booth, with in the commentating booth for the interviews. It's just qualifying laps after qualifying laps after qualifying laps. That's why you see that great wheel-to-wheel racing. That's why you see some fantastic laps that they were putting in there. Also, there's also winners and gainers and losers. The strategy is not so much at play, but entertainment is A++, James. Welcome along, my friend, to your first Valencia race.
Yeah, it definitely was there as well. You can see in 2 weeks' time we go to Imola, then round 4 at Zolder will be also 2 20-minute sprints here currently as well. So that's going to be absolutely epic. And then that would be with the last sprint of the season before we go to Hungaroring and Kota, where it will be double points. But that is it, guys. I think for tonight, that rounds off tonight's broadcast. Thank you to everybody that's joined us here in chat. It's been an absolute pleasure having you along once more for the Sunday Drive Racing League on a Monday as well. That name will never change, and neither will that saying. But for now, guys, I think it's time to bring this to an end. From myself up here in the booth, and the one, the only, the Mr. Mighty Biggles as well. But you all take care. Have a great week, guys, and you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.